Now, Iraqi athletes are eager to show the world there's more to their country than bombs and violence. They'll have their chance at the Summer Olympic Games in Beijing. That same determination to make it to the Games is also making them targets. Don Riddell has the story of one athlete who refuses to let that danger distract him from his dream.
Fans of comic strip fiction know that heroes live in the shadows, and that has certainly been true for Najah Ali. The flyweight boxer was one of the stars of the last Summer Olympics in Athens, but it's believed he was marked as a target for militants when he returned to Iraq because he received American support, and he was forced to keep a low profile.
I'm just trying to keep it quiet, do my job and done, that's it. Go to the gym as well, training, get back home.
But were you in danger, do you think, after the
Definitely,
Olympics?
every Iraqi living there, he's in danger. Every people there living in Iraq now, they're in danger.
But since turning professional in London earlier this month, Ali wants the world to know his name as a world champion.
It's going to be my dream. It's going to come true. And I think it's going to be very, very good for my country and my family to have the first professional become world champion.
It'll be a dream, an absolute dream, because I think that's what Iraq needs at the moment. It needs some hope. It needs people to look up to. They need a reason to cheer, and Najah could be that person.
As a Baghdad resident, Ali witnessed firsthand the American-led invasion of 2003. His home was near the airport, and he held a mattress over the windows to protect his family from all the flying glass. He counted over 40 bombs in one night, but is reluctant to say much more about the experience. Were you scared, though? I mean, that must have been a really bad time.
Well, it is really a bad time, scary, but get used to it. Every day, it's like normal life. I see almost everything, you know, I see everything.
His first professional opponent didn't see much during a fight that lasted barely a minute. Ali put him on the canvas no less than 3 times in a clinical, explosive and brief encounter.
His right hand is his biggest asset. He's got explosive hooks, but his right hand is exceptionally powerful for a flyweight.
Is it emotional for you, representing Iraq, knowing everything that Iraq has gone through?
Yeah, of course, it's like representing Iraq is really, you know, it's very, very big, because Iraq now, I think, need everything. I'm very proud to be Iraqi. I'm very proud to represent the country as well.
Najah is the son of a former Arab boxing champion, but of course he's not the first Ali to have made a career out of the noble art. And it's not just promoters who appreciate the link with the heavyweight legend Muhammad Ali.
It came like that. It's my last name, and I love it. I really love it.
And Ali's own name, Najah, is pretty special too. It means success. Don Riddell, CNN, London.
Well, Don's here with me in the studio to tell us more about this guy. Hi, Don. He's pretty amazing, isn't he? But I heard from you earlier that he's 28 years old. I won't say just 28, because actually 28 years old is actually quite mature for a boxer, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, you know, even his own team admit that it's a bit late to be turning professional. Of course, there are reasons for that. I mean, you know, he had to get out of Iraq to turn professional. There's no professional boxing in Iraq, and really he had no future there anyway. He really had to escape to the West, to London, you know, America or Britain or a country like that if he was going to pursue his dream. So 28 seems old, and I asked his team about that, and they said, well, you know, look, we don't think our guy is jaded by boxing. He's looked after himself, and he's very, very good. But they do appreciate that because of his age, they're going to have to try and get a bit of a move on. They say that within 6 fights, they think he'll be good enough to fight in Europe, and within 15 fights, he'll be good enough to fight for the world title. We'll see. Boxing's a very complicated political sport, but I think he'll have a lot of goodwill behind him of people who want to see. A lot of people want to see him succeed.
And his background is fascinating for anyone, even for the most casual observer. Did you glean any more, a little bit more, from what we heard in the interview there you did with him?
I mean, he grew up in Baghdad, so of course he's seen a lot in his lifetime. His family had to evacuate Baghdad during the first Gulf War, and in the second Gulf War they were living near the airport. And as we were hearing in that report, you know, he counted over 40 bombs in one night. You know, his neighbourhood was badly affected. He still carried on his dream of going and boxing and training at the gym every day, and he'd have to sort of walk around huge craters in the street. But really, when he got back from the Olympics, his life was very difficult, because although he didn't win a medal at the Olympics, he was very very high profile. He went there with American support, and that really marked him out as a bit of a target. So, you know, he couldn't really live a life that he would have wanted to in Baghdad, and he's now able to be a lot more expressive now that he's in London.
It's amazing, isn't it? Because he's the kind of guy that's really turned his life around. But he turned it around with help, didn't he?
Yeah, and that, as you can imagine, for some people in Iraq was a problem, because he was such a high-profile associate of the Americans, shall we say, just a year after the invasion in 2003 when he went to the games in Athens. And you know, I think that's a problem for many. He won't identify his family back home. We turned up to film him and we're wondering, are there any photographs of you know, where you grew up or your family? And he doesn't want to show those, doesn't want to identify his family. I think I mean, you might have got a sense from that, he's a really great guy. He's a really fun, bubbly character, but very, very serious about what he does. He's clearly very talented. He's very fast and very explosive. And, you know, I think many people will want to see him succeed. We shall see, though.
So this could be one guy to watch.
Yeah, I think so. I think so. It comes from good stock. His dad's an Arab boxing champion from the 1980s. So
there we go. He's got the pedigree.
He's definitely got some pedigree. Yeah.
Don, thanks a lot for that.